There are moments in time so grand, so dreamy, they transcend nostalgia. This year, Parisians relived their moment in time, August 25th, 1944. For their 60th liberation anniversary, the city of Paris went to extravagant lengths to relive the moment. They mounted historic photographs along the perimeter of the Luxembourg Gardens. And they invited 2 American veterans, members of the 4th Infantry Division, to come back and relive it with them. Paul Brunel and Bill Buell were delighted to revisit the city they liberated as young men.
When I got the call, would I be interested in coming, I practically fell over backwards. I was so excited.
When Private First Class Paul Brunel entered Paris that day with his unit, he was not prepared for the reception he and his fellow soldiers received.
Of course, there were thousands and thousands of people on the streets, and the trucks could barely move through the city. And of course, the women were climbing up on the trucks and hugging and kissing the GIs, and I was a rather bashful 19-year-old, and I sort of held back.
After 60 years, there are still a few kisses to be had by U.S. soldiers visiting the city. For Sergeant Bill Buell, Paris was just one stop on a journey that began on the beaches of Normandy and ended in the Hürtgen forest. He couldn't wait to write home about his experience in Paris. He still has the letter and agreed to share a few memories.
It seemed everyone had flowers to throw at us. The Jeep began to look like something decked out for the parade of the Tournament of Roses. Most every house had hastily made French, English, and American flags flying from them. The deeper we penetrated, the slower the going went, and we had to stop many times. Each time we stopped, literally hundreds of people climbed all over us, and it's a wonder our clothes weren't torn off.
The French government held a private liberation ceremony in the very public Place de la Concorde. It was filled with pomp, but void of Parisians. They were banished behind barricades as the ceremony took place under extreme security. On the streets along the Seine, however, the people of Paris got to see the real show as vintage vehicles rolled into town. The French 2nd Armored Division brought their tanks, and the U.S. 4th Infantry Division's fish and chips came all the way from Belgium, its permanent home, where it's a cherished relic of another liberation. There was also the rare opportunity to see Frenchmen and women dressed in American uniforms. Who says the French don't like Americans? You could never sense it in this crowd. U.S. officials in Paris say the French have been working hard to overcome their anti-American image.
All of us, I don't think any of us have had any situation, whether it's in official dealings or dealings with the public, where we don't have basically the French telling us, you know, we love America, we don't want this to be a cause of any kind of rift in our friendships.
It was apparent on this day that admiration for Americans is something that is deeply entrenched in the hearts of many a Parisian. The sacrifices still appreciated and remembered. The City of Light has seen darker days, 4 long years of occupation not forgotten. And after 60 years, liberty is still something to celebrate. In Paris, Pam Portland, AFN News.